Thank you very much, and congratulations for the initiative and also for organizing this event. Your Excellencies, ambassadors of European Nordic countries, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, today's forum is more just a gathering. It is a tribute to our collective dedication to building a future defined by accessible, secure, and clean energy. It also highlights the strong and lasting bonds of friendship that unite our nations: Romania, Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway, and Sweden. Minister of Energy, Mr. Bogdan Ivan, kindly asked me to convey the message that Ministry of Energy recognized this initiative as a vital milestone in our journey towards meeting Europe's ambitious green transition goals. We may be separated by regions, but we are united in the desire to build, to progress, and to uplift our societies and the regions around us. The forum today is important not only as regards projects in an energy sector, and I expect that concrete discussions will take place between representatives of companies coming from Nordic countries and Romania counterparts, but also a testimony to the trust and ambition through cooperation in joint European initiatives. Today I am the State Secretary coordinating in the Ministry of Energy the European and International Affairs, but I had the honor to represent my country in the European Parliament for 16 years. And between 2019 and 2024, I was the Chair of Industry, Research and Energy Committee, working very closely with European Commission and with colleagues from all EU countries, and of course from Nordic countries also, from those countries that are member of European Union. But our ties with Norway are very, very strong. I had the chance to visit Norway. Norwegian government is extremely active in Brussels. Equinor is extremely active. And of course, Iceland is very important for European Union. So I had the chance to advance together in the Green Deal that was launched by President von der Leyen in 2019 and then reaffirmed as a strategic goal for European Union not so long time ago. So I want to reassure you once again that Romania's energy policy is fully aligned with the European Union decarbonization targets. But as also European Union is more and more recognizes after Draghi report, after the elections in 2024, we need to ensure affordable, secure and resilient energy in Europe, but the decarbonization should not compromise energy security, and energy security after the illegal invasion of Ukraine by Russia, after the illegal war, is more and more relevant to all European nations. And also, the decarbonization should not burden too much our population and industries with disproportionate costs. I really believe that we can find and we can achieve the right balance between our ambitious goals, which should remain neutrality, climate neutrality in 2050, massive investment in clean technologies, clean energies, Europe that leads the international and global effort to fight against climate change and to implement the Paris Agreement objectives. But also on the other part of the balance, we need to find the right measures to support our industries and to assure affordable or decent prices to our citizens and to our economies. Also, Romania at the EU level, besides supporting actively the decarbonization efforts and the implementation of the legislation, also tries to advocate for three things, which are particularities but also strategic interest of Romania. First of all, better interconnection between North and West Europe and the Central and East Europe. And here we need to address the bottlenecks, the very important and sensitive point of congestion is between Austria and Hungary. And we would like to advocate that without really achieving the integration of all markets and finalizing the European Union energy market, it will be difficult to achieve our strategy goals. Then we advocate for the role of natural gas during the transition. Little by little, we decrease our consumption of natural gas. Europe is now committed to achieve zero imports from Russia, and Romania strongly supports REPowerEU. We'll discuss Monday in the Council of Energy Ministers this legislation, and we strongly support the initiative of European Commission. But we need to look also to the internal production. And Romania, with Neptune Deep project, where the environmental standards of the technologies that will be deployed there are much higher than the standards in the Middle East, in Qatar, in the Caspic area, where we'll still need to import some of the natural gas, could supply and could be provider of energy security for the region and for European Union. And finally, of course, and here we are aligned also with some of the European Nordic countries, the role of nuclear energy during the transition and beyond the transition. As of course, it's not renewable energy, but it's zero emission energy, and it can provide security of supply, a baseload source that will help us to become more resilient, more secured, and also to meet our climate targets. Romania energy policy, once again, main objective is to increase the share of renewable energy in total energy consumption by 2030. And maybe next week, and I look to Mrs. Frăsineanu, the government will adopt the emergency ordinance that will implement, will transpose the RED III directive in Romania. And the targets are totally aligned with the European targets. Because we strongly believe that by increasing the use of renewable energy, we can meet climate goals, increase energy security, and reduce on medium and long term, not immediately, because it's a question of capex and recover the investments, but on medium and long term, we can reduce electricity costs for end consumers. Of course, this can be achieved by developing a long-term strategy, setting clear goals and signals for investors, and create a favorable regulatory environment, and also accelerating the adoption of emerging technologies. Next step in Romania will be to encourage the deployment of efficient renewable energy storage solutions. Because without storage, without batteries, at some point, all the investments in renewables, solar, wind, will be very complicated, as if we have in the same time an important number of capacities that are producing, and Romania, a little bit as like the Nordic countries, a little bit better because our weather, maybe it's more favorable to solar. Okay, if we talk about wind, it's different. We do not have the whole year the possibility to use solar energy. So in those days, in those times when solar energy is produced, it is a risk that the prices will be lower. You all understand very well the need to invest in storage solutions that are needed to strengthen energy independence. This is an essential solution for Romania, and it's an essential solution also for European Union. Also, as I said, we have a very balanced mix besides solar, wind, and storage related mainly to these solutions. Of course, we are looking to the geothermal energy, not necessarily for producing electricity, but mainly for district heating. And for Bucharest, this could be a very good solution, and maybe some of the solutions that you develop in the Nordic countries could be very useful for Romania. More and more we are looking to the carbon capture and storage, and I had the chance to see in Denmark very interesting solution that is built now, not very far from Copenhagen, and the European Commissioner for Energy, Mr. Dan Jorgensen, a former colleague in the European Parliament, former Minister of Denmark, and who will visit Romania soon in 10 days, on 27th of October. Also, more and more, together with the European Commission, recognize the role of carbon capture and storage, not necessary for electricity production, but mainly for industries that without carbon capture and storage will disappear from European Union. So beside this and geothermal and carbon capture, we are looking very much to hydrogen, and the strategy for hydrogen was adopted by the government. And thank you to the government, thank you, Mrs. Frăsinanu, and the Prime Minister and all the colleagues involved. And we try also to be aligned with the ambitious goals of European Union. And we will continue to invest in hydropower. Romania inherited important capacities from the 80s, from the 90s. And Mr. David is here, he knows very well the capacity of hydroelectrica, the potential of hydroelectrica, and what we can do in the future in order to use better this renewable source that could be extremely important for our energy mix. I will finish by saying that once again, with this investments in renewables, but also with the two strategic projects, nuclear refurbishment of Unit 1, building of Unit 3 and 4, and our project in partnership with the United States of America on small modular reactors in Doicești, plus the very strategic project Neptune Deep in the Black Sea. I really believe that Romania can become a hub of energy, a regional hub, and a provider of energy security for the region. The transformation of our energy sector is crucial for increasing resilience, competitiveness, sustainability. It requires rigorous planning and a balanced mix of cross-sectoral measures. Energy transition process demands joint efforts, not only between governmental institutions, but also a true partnership between government, parliament, and the private industry and the investors, and also deeper multinational cooperation. And here, the lessons, the experiences of the Nordic countries in order to achieve the goals of 2030, then 2040, and climate neutrality in 2050. All that you achieved in the area of renewable energy, and maybe part of these experiences will be shared during these conferences, and the dialogue should continue beyond and after this conference. And I'm sure looking the very active ambassadors of the Nordic countries that will continue this dialogue and a very good cooperation. This will be extremely beneficial for Romania. And once again, a big thank you for the initiative. Thank you very much.